Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Tavian. I am doing a video today on the Jock strap harness that I have been using for my Freetom. It was requested by a person who watched my peeing with Freetom video. So, I'm doing that for you today. Anybody who are family or friends or just somebody browsing the YouTube, I do have to tell you that I'm going to be showing my prosthetic penis in this video. If you do not wish to see it, I suggest you just keep on pushing. Meaning, go find some videos of cats to watch or something, because this is not one of those videos. Alright, so, these are the jock straps that I use. This is an already open pack. They are Poppy or Pappy or some shit like that. I got them from Amazon for like 15-ish bucks. So, 3 for that much. About how much I actually pay for the harness that I would prefer to be wearing, which I get from eBay, made by Kamari. The one I originally ordered from him was just a little bit too small, so it made it impossible for adjusting my Freetom the way I need it for pee. So I do not use it, but I did recently just order 2 more that are larger. So I'm waiting for those to get in now, but that does not mean in any way that I'm not going to be using these, simply because of the fact that I like to swap out my harnesses regularly. I mean, sometimes more than once a day, just because, you know, like, even if you get the smallest little bit of pee on the back of your harness, and then you gotta sit in that shit, like, come an hour or 2 later, you are gonna be uncomfortable. So, I definitely have about 12 pairs of these. Then I'll have my 2 harnesses made by Kamari. So I'm going to show you my prosthetic and what it looks like in the harness. This is it. As you can see, the cup fits nicely inside of the cup of the actual jock strap here. It's really basic. Like I said, it's just a jock strap pre-bought. And I've cut the hole where I want my shaft to be. Now, I suggest when figuring out where you want, for me personally, after like the first 3 times, I automatically just knew where I needed my hole to be. But I would suggest maybe putting on your actual jock strap before cutting the hole, and maybe sticking the prosthetic in there and getting it positioned so that you know where you need your cup to be and where you would really want the head to come out at. For me personally, I have it about, you know, 1.5 inches from the top of the strap. So there's that. This works wonderfully. I will tell you that if you're planning on getting colors like mine, you should be aware that discoloration starts to happen just from it being like down there and rubbing around. It just happens. I don't know why that happens, but it is. So if you don't like that, then probably get some that don't have color in it, or try something else. I personally don't mind it because nobody's looking at it, you know, except for my lady. But speaking of that, not good for play. It's not so snug that you could really, you know, get a good movement going on in it. So I highly suggest not trying to do this for play. Maybe you could get a smaller pair that are snugger that could be used for play. I personally would not try going tighter than you should normally should with this, because I think it would just get uncomfortable and really start to like dig into your thighs and under your butt and everything. So don't try to use this for play. I'll use my Kamari strap for play. The D-slang, I guess, is what it's called now. So that's that. I will show you what it looks like on over a pair of boxers. This is what it looks like on with boxers, obviously, because you'll need to see all my private areas. So it really helps for this to not come forward, which I really appreciate, because I feel like a lot of past harnesses I've had really made this come forward a lot, and it just didn't sit the way I wanted it to. So these are really good for making sure that stays back. It's really easy to just whip it out and get it positioned so that you can pee. This is about how it would be positioned if I needed to pee. Maybe a little bit higher if I wasn't peeing. And then it would just fold into my boxers like so. And this is what it looks like underneath my boxers. You can see, boom, 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 boom. Alright, so I'm going to show you right quick how to actually cut the hole for your Freetom. I got my jock strap here, all out of the package, uncut. So the easiest way I suggest to do it is to put it on. I've taken off my harness, so I'm putting it back on. Alright, so you got it on, like so. Boom. Now I suggest you just take your Freetom and put it inside, like so that you can actually position it so that you know where you would have it on your body. And then just use the head as a way of judging where you'd want your head to go. So maybe you would take a Sharpie or something once you've decided where you would want your head to come out at based on where your cup is. And you would take a Sharpie and you would just like maybe make a little circle around it and then just take off the harness again and cut it. I'm not going to do that because I already know where I need my hole to be. I'm just going to take it back off and cut the hole. Alright. Here's my harness. My hole's usually about right here. So I'm just going to take that like so. Grab my scissors. And I'm going to cut it a little smaller than I think the diameter of my dick is, just because I don't want it to be too big either. So I'd much rather to be smaller and where it can just stretch back to size where it needs to be than be too big. And then like I feel like the cup's just going to fall out and just going to stretch further than it needs to be spread. So I'm just going to cut it a little smaller than I actually think I need. Alright. Yeah, just drop my scissors like so. Alright. And there's my hole, like so. And then test it out. Boom. Just like so. All done. Just like that. And so you got your nice cupped balls there with your shaft hanging loose. Wear it with some tight boxer briefs and you're good. And that's how I make my harness.